Welcome to Just Minding My Business Media LLC. There will always be days when life is not what we would like it to be. It is our perspective that makes the difference. Or, in the words of Thomas Edison, I haven't failed. I just know 10,000 ways that won't work. Now we welcome to the mic Antwaun Thompson, or Coach T, who is the founder and executive director of JLT Fieldhouse, a nonprofit youth coaching and mentoring organization dedicated to coaching and mentoring the leaders of tomorrow. This organization is named in honor of his late father, Sergeant Major Joe Lewis Thompson, USMC, who adopted Antwaun and his older brother after their mom and Joe were married. Antwaun Thompson is also the CEO of Coach T's Corner, an online mentoring academy that is designed to educate, motivate, and support our future leaders of tomorrow through personal growth and development and personal relationship development programs. Welcome, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Antwaun, please. Antwaun or Coach T, no Mr. Thompson.
Okay.
I know. I made the mistake of doing that, and he definitely corrected me real quick.
All righty.
Well, welcome, Antwaun. We appreciate you being here.
Well, I thank you for the opportunity. Always a blessing and to get an opportunity to talk about my passion.
I understand. So I'm one of them people that I like to know beginnings and how you got started on this road.
Well, it really all started just like that intro. It started with Joe Lewis Thompson coming into our lives when we were really young. Unfortunately, our biological father was not a very good husband to my mom, nor was he a great father to us. And my mom, being the strong woman that she was, knew that we all needed better. And so she left that situation. And then Joe came along and provided an opportunity in a life that we could have never imagined. And I'm sitting here talking to you now because of the values and morals that he instilled in my brother and I. And what I want to do now is just pass that forward. And it is, for me, is a blessing to get an opportunity to wake up every day knowing that I'm honoring the memory of my father.
Right. I know that's right. That what better thing you could do, you know what I'm saying? So let's
Absolutely.
get into some detail about your organization.
Yes, absolutely. Well, when I originally started JLT Fieldhouse, we've been in existence for about 6 years. And when I first started, really the premise behind it was I wanted to give those less skilled players an opportunity to compete with those that were gifted, if you will. To build their confidence and make them know that they can compete with the best of the best if they put in the time, effort, and the hard work. But as I started doing that, I started to see that I was able to provide more than just the coaching aspect. I started seeing confidence build. I started seeing resiliency. And with that, I said, there's more that I can do with this. So I started focusing more on the mentoring part and utilizing the basketball just as a platform to get the kids involved. And then once they came in, like I say, we've been in existence for 6 years. We've had kids that have been in the program for 5 years, from 5 years on, and still coming back and helping. Now we actually had 14 of our high school kids help out this year with a summer camp or a summer league that we had. So that's a perfect example of them wanting to come back and give back to the program that helped develop them into the young people that they are today.
Yes. And I think one of the things with sports, I think kids in particular like to exert energy. They like, anything that allows them to move and sports is definitely a big thing, especially with boys. And that's a good connector in terms of building the self-esteem, building the resiliency. So I like the approach to what you're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was just would add one other, I think the other part that's really important too, you were mentioning about the young boys. Well, the great thing about our organization, we have boys and girls in the program, and we've seen an increase in the girls over the last 3 years. And we've had and they're just phenomenal young ladies, but to know that they realize that somebody's actually putting in the time, effort, and cares enough about them growing, then they put in a little bit more. And then the best part about it, they're recruiting other girls to come into the program because they see the benefit that they're getting out of it.
And that's something right there, that's what I like to talk about, because I'm glad that you also have girls in the program, because I know that for young girls, who will be young women very quickly, matters of self-esteem and knowing their inner strength is really important. So how do sports help both boys and girls, but get what they need? I noticed one of the topics that you talk about is character building.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it about sports that creates that character strength?
We didn't talk about anything that we're going to really do, but what you just said is really the foundation for how I made the transition with the coaching into the mentoring part. And it comes to the basketball/life comparison. And to utilize everything that I teach in basketball. We talk about teamwork, and we talk about communication and resiliency and competing, and building a self-esteem and counting on your teammates to help you when you're down. They lift you up. And then all of these things carry over into life when these young people are getting jobs and they get out to the working world. Mom and dad are not going to be able to make that phone call when they don't get that report turned into the boss on time. That is their responsibility to make sure that that's done. But if they're part of a good team, their teammates are going to hold them accountable. And then they, in turn, can hold their teammates accountable and pass it forward to the next person that comes along.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always enjoy hearing this type of conversation, because our young people need not so much people doing for them, but the mentoring means that they are actually doing the work themselves, rather than doing it for them, getting them to do it for themselves. And because they're doing it for themselves, they really do get a chance to say, oh, I can do this. Oh, I didn't know I could do this. I was afraid. Right. And now guess what? I'm not scared anymore. I can do this. So you're, like you said, you're teaching them those life skills of learning how to meet challenges. Even on a basketball court with an opposing team, that's a challenge. How do you meet that challenge? How do you prepare for it? And that's what I love about hearing that you work with both boys and girls, because everybody needs to have that.
Absolutely.
Life's challenges in a New York second.
Amen to that. Amen to that. There's I'll throw one more little caveat in there, and this just happened recently. One of the young ladies that was helping, she's going to be a junior in high school this year. She is actually doing her senior project on JLT Fieldhouse.
Wow.
And it is, we're going to talk about a young lady that's all in. There are a couple of young ladies, they are all in, and whenever I ask, hey, do you want it, they're the first ones to say, absolutely, coach, would love to. But she mentioned in a video, she goes, not only do I want to represent my school by sharing JLT, she said, I want to represent JLT Fieldhouse at my school. So that to me shows how much value and how much commitment she's put into it, but more importantly, how much she's gotten out of it. And that is what drives me and wakes me up every day and pushes me forward to continue to do what I do.
Yes, that is wonderful, because when you're changing lives and you can see lives changing before you, that's enough to wake you up every day.
That's the reason to wake up. And get
yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
So where is this located? Where are you located? JLT Fieldhouse.
We are located in Salisbury, North Carolina, which is about 40 miles north of Charlotte.
Okay.
And we actually have we get kids from as far away as Winston-Salem, which is about 45 minutes away. So we reach right outside of our immediate area as well. So word spreads, and word of mouth is the best form of advertising you can get.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm just sitting here. I just had a vision about incorporating this in other states. The blueprint that you have. So I don't know why I thought that, because this is needed everywhere.
Yeah.
I agree.
You're very successful in a short period of time, which says that if it's going to be successful where you are now, it's going to be successful in other areas of the country. And there are so many people that are passionate like you about helping our youth, because let's face it, that's our, one day we have to depend on them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And people like you, we need you.
Yes.
I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere.
You know, I don't mention that my question again. I have so many questions about this because I can see some things too that are possible. I know you said most of your young people are juniors. They're going into their senior year this fall.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But we also have most of the kids know. I will say, me, I want to be everything to all people, and I know you can't do that. But when it comes to the basketball, I work with kids as young as 5 years old, and actually work all the way up to college age. So I work with everybody. Anybody needs help, I'm there. That's what I'm here for.
Very fine. All right.
Yeah.
So as you have these older ones who are not aging out, because they're going to be coming back, I know they are, and they're going to continue to support this. Have you started hearing them? I guess what I'm asking is there an example of one person, male or female, that you really have seen tremendous growth and development in? I know there are probably a couple.
Ooh, boy, you know what? This young man is probably watching this, and I love sharing his story. And, he's given me the green light to share it. It is, I try not to get emotional when I talk about it because his transformation has been unbelievable. He's been in the program. This is probably going on his 5th year. He's going to be a junior in high school this year. Actually met him when he was in the 5th grade, but he didn't get in the program until a year and a half later. But the transformation he made, his mom sent me a text, and she just posted on Facebook, so it's out there. But she wanted to thank me that for the first time in his life, he no longer identified with the word alone, because he always felt alone. And us working together for over a 3-year period, I used to always tell him that he started to play with relentlessly. And I kept using that word. And she said that he now identified with that word, relentless. And he has adopted that as his new mantra. And the growth that he's had, this has been his 3rd summer coming back to help with our summer programs. And whenever I reach out to him, he said, yes, sir, coach. Yes, sir, coach. We'd love to do it. And this young man has been the bright light and why this was started and why it was needed.
Wow.
Awesome.
That is so awesome.
I have another question for you. As I see what you've done with these young ones, and you say that Sergeant Major Joe Lewis Thompson was a major influence in your life. Can you remember what it was that your father told you that became like your mantra that has brought you to the place that you are now?
There's 2 things that stand out. When you say what he said to me, he said to my brothers and I, we have a younger brother who came along after our parents got married, but he said, is there's ever anything you can do to help someone else, you do it. Because you doing that is going to teach them to do the same thing for the next person and then for the next person. But to know my father, he was the consummate athlete. He played every sport in high school, played every position on the football team except quarterback, coached the Marine Corps base tackle football team to a base championship twice. We used to go watch him coach when we were playing Pop Warner. And he came to watch a game of mine one day. And I was struggling, and I knew I was pressing too hard. And my father being a coach, you think, oh, he's going to kind of ring. He was never that kind of coach. When he wasn't coaching, he was a father, always a father. Father first, father first. And he came up, it was halftime game. We're sitting there. The coaches had already talked with us. I was just kind of sitting there, and I was right by the fence, and he came over to the fence, and he had a really soft tone to him, but a big man, big, intimidating man, but really big heart. He said to me, he goes, son, just enjoy yourself and stop trying to do too much. It was the best thing I could have ever heard. Went out second half, scored 2 touchdowns, we win the game. And I honestly believe it was that little speech he gave that transformed how I approached everything. So I started taking everything in stride. And that was when I was 12 years old. I'm now 56 years old, and I remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
I knew there was something. I knew there was something. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's important, what you said about having fun. You have to have fun with it. When it's not fun, then it becomes difficult when you don't have that fun element involved. So I like what you said about that. This is such a beautiful time to support children. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've always needed to do that. But because there's so many soldiers like you that are willing to support our young people in so many different ways. I mean, help is everywhere now. If you don't want help with something, it's because you just don't want help, because help is everywhere.
It is. It really is. And I think, there's 2 really key components that I really focus on. And I found it to be the catalyst for, I like to say, my success in doing this. And there's 2 things that I do. Actually, 3 things. I like to build a rapport, number 1, but I listen and I do not judge. Because when you build a rapport and you listen, that's when I learn and get more from them, and our relationships blossom faster than anything, because I let them take the lead, share what they want to share. And in conversation, I find out more than grilling them with questions. Well, why aren't you accountable? Why aren't you personally responsible? Why haven't you set goals for yourself? Well, they shut down. And, being able to build a rapport and building relationships. Relationships are everything, and it all goes back to the big C word, communication. Communication, communication.
Yes. And letting them be them, and
right.
Who they are, and make them feel okay. It's okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
We do that. We don't give that to children. We don't give it to each other as adults. We have all these expectations, our own personal expectation of what other people are supposed to be and how they're supposed to be in our presence. And children are a wonderful reminder, because especially when they're very young, they're just who they are, and they allow you to be who you are. They have no expectations, and as a result, they're open. And if you're open to, you can develop a rapport with them. And I noticed also there was something you talk about, relationships and communication. We need to learn that as adults, because that's the model we need to set for young people. Not that you get to a certain age and all of a sudden you're all knowing and all wise, because that's simply not true. Unless you in order to be effective as an adult, we have to continue growing every day.
Absolutely.
And that's the model we want to pass on to young people, so that, we don't always appear to be all knowing, We ask them, what do you want? What do you think? What do you know? And sometimes young people are really amazing by what they know. And you think they're clueless, but they've been watching.
Oh, they have been. It's funny you say that too, because I approach coaching is I don't know everything, and I don't want to know everything, because I want to keep learning. And that's what I remind them. You want to keep learning as much as you can, because the more you learn, the better you are at it. I've become a better coach. I'm a better coach today than I was yesterday, only because of the way that I interact with the kids, and they teach me how to coach better. And I always tell them, hey, I don't know everything. And you want hear something really funny. The ongoing joke in JLT Fieldhouse is that Coach T can't shoot a basketball, but Coach T can show you how to shoot a basketball. And they love to make fun of me not being able to shoot, but they keep coming back because they know they're getting better at shooting. And I say, it's not what I can do, it's what I can teach. And I know I can't shoot, but I know I can teach. And they love to make fun of it, but that's part of the relationship and the rapport that we have with each other. And I actually put a video up a couple months ago showing them that I have improved my shooting and showed them the increase in the percentage. And they still won't give me my credit, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That just keeps me working hard to keep getting better so I can get it 100% and they can't argue when I get there.
All right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Coach T's Corner, your
Yes.
Direct Academy. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that came about because of this pandemic, because everything we did at JLT Fieldhouse shut down like that in one day. And for 10 months, we did absolutely nothing. And instead of sitting and mulling going, okay, well, I'll just sit and wait till we open up. I'm like, hey, what can I do? So, my wife comes to me, she goes, I gave her an idea. She goes, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's focus more on the mentoring part. We've got a combination of athletics and mentoring. Now we can transition to just the mentoring part. So I started putting courses on the website and then came up with the foundation for it. And it is what I call, and I'm really proud of it, it's the C of Success. It's an acronym, SEA of Success. And that is the simplicity, the effort, and the attitude of success. And we focus this on all of the soft skill areas when we talk about accountability and responsibility, goal setting, confidence, communication, time management. Keep it simple, applying maximum effort, and ensure that you keep a positive attitude. And the biggest part of the attitude part for me is because regardless of the simplicity and the effort part, there are going to be ebbs and flow in everything that you do. But with a positive attitude, you can overcome any obstacles that come in your way. And I share a couple of quotes with kids. And then one of them is, your attitude almost always determines your altitude in life. That's number one. And number two is, a positive attitude won't solve all your problems, but it will annoy enough people to make it worth the effort. And that's the one I like, because I just keep plugging forward, and just kind of keep going. So those three things apply to everything that I teach: simplicity, effort, and attitude. And the programs are, you can do the self-help with the courses, or you can work with me one-on-one, and we can also do it in group settings as well.
Okay, so how do people connect with that?
Well, they can go to our website, CoachT'sCorner.com. I'm also on Instagram, which is CoachT's_Corner, and also on Twitter, Coach T's Corner. And also have a YouTube channel, which I've just started. I'm going to be putting some great videos up, probably this one. Yes, I am. So you can do that. And of course, you can always email me at CoachT'sCorner.com. And if you email me, I will be giving you my free blueprint, the Sea of Success blueprint. And that is a free gift because I want people to know the foundation by which I do everything that we do at Coach T's Corner.
Well, that's awesome. And everybody that information is definitely posted on YouTube and Facebook. So it is definitely readily available to everybody who is watching this now or tomorrow.
Yes.
Whenever.
You share it tomorrow. I like it. That's good.
Yes, I love your attitude. I can tell that's part of who you are, because your attitude is very, very, it's inspiring. You're an inspiring individual. And
thank you. I appreciate it. I get that from my mom. Get that from my mom. Get that from my mom.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I got to drop a mom plug in there now. Lewis Thompson did a lot, but Mama was there too.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I saw you on Facebook and you ain't saying nothing about it.
Oh, she'll call me.
Oh yeah, Mama's still
getting ready to dial. has not written me yet. But yeah, we can see.
I said it, Mama. I said it.
Yeah, you're in the clear. You're in the
Yeah,
clear.
I
It has
am.
really
I
been such a
am.
pleasure talking with you, and I really look forward to hearing more about what you're doing and about the young people that you've been working with. To hear their stories would be phenomenal, because you really are giving them something that
Yes.
everyone could benefit from. There are a lot of young people who need encouragement right now. This pandemic has done them in. And so many of them, you can only imagine those who were graduating in 2020 and weren't able to have, they worked so hard and there was nothing there for them. But what I'm hearing are you have a group of young people from 5 on up who are striving and thriving. And
Yeah.
I think
Yes,
their
ma'am.
stories would be awesome.
Yes.
I'm putting
Yeah.
a bit out there. I'm sort of like salting the water.
Ladies, I hate to break this to you, but I'm way ahead of you. I know you probably know what I have coming up in October, and
Yes.
believe it or not, the kids are going to be a part of it. Absolutely, absolutely,
All
Yay.
righty now. I can't wait to see it for sure.
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. They're all excited about it. Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes,
excellent, excellent. Because I
yes.
know these are amazing stories. I can tell from the person that you are what they're going to be like. It's going to be an extraordinary event, and
Yes.
I'm looking forward to learning more about what you do and meeting these young people.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
I'm really appreciative of your time and make this. I really appreciate your admiration for what I'm doing, and I can assure you that I'm looking for no pats on the back. Seeing these young people be successful is all the gratitude that I need, and them passing it forward, and a lot of them continue to do that. I know.
Oh yeah. Teach
So,
one. Yeah. All you have to do is one, and then it goes like hot flour. Right.
yeah, it does. Like wildflower, it sure
Yes.
does.
Yes.
Indeed,
Yes.
indeed.
Your
Awesome.
leadership is, teaching them leadership, because leadership is
Absolutely.
important. It's an important thing to have, because all leaders that say they're leaders aren't leaders.
Oh, no. He just has
Yeah.
a title. That's it.
Yes.
Right.
I want to say
Yes.
something to you that I think is just admirable. You say that you're not the basketball star, and they know you're not the basketball star. You're working to improve, and giving them little videos to make them either applaud you or laugh, one of the two. But that to me is the mark of leadership, is that you don't have to be Mr. Wonderful. You don't have to have everything, but you're willing to give what you can. And like you said, you can teach. And to teach is one of the most powerful vocations that one can have.
Yes.
Agreed. I agree.
Without
I agree.
teaching, good teaching, none of us would learn. You know,
That's very true. Very true. Very
so
true.
you're not only a coach, but you're a teacher. And to
Yes.
do
Well,
that, both of them, and do it well, requires humility. And that's something that I see in you. And so I
well,
just
thank you.
wanted to commend you because
Well,
and it
thank you.
shows in your young people that they're following in your footsteps.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
leadership.
thank you. Well, I'm also a choir director. We have the JLT Fieldhouse Boys Basketball Choir. We have a clip up on Instagram on the JLT Fieldhouse page. You must check that out. I don't think we'll get any singing contracts, but the boys did quite a decent job, I must say. Yes, they
Okay.
did. Yes, yes.
Okay. I
I,
can't
I'm
wait to
looking
tune
forward
into that.
Yes, this has been lovely.
Well,
Yes, it
thank you, ladies. I
has.
appreciate it.
We have really enjoyed your time. You know you coming back, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was going to beg you. I was going to beg you to bring me back anyway. So, but you're offering. I'm in.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. Yes.
Wow. Well, once again, we have had a blast with our special guests. We appreciate our audience who always supports us as well. And looking forward to our next encounter. So thank you so much, Coach T, Antwaun, and thank you to our audience.
Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.